guys, welcome back to Balancing Life with Key. If you didn't see my last episode, um, Balancing Life with Key is going to be all about my life as well as my journey discovering different avenues of income. So today we're going to focus on Poshmark, and I'm going to tell you about my experience with Poshmark, my start, um, how Poshmark works, and just tell you a little bit about Poshmark. So, starting out, well, let's back up a little bit. So, every year, well, let's say every season, I have been gathering my children's clothes. I gather my children's clothes so that we can take them to consignment because they grow so fast, and I have two. They grow so fast that we're having to buy clothes every season. And so what we do is we take the clothes to consignment. They print you out a receipt to tell you how much you're going to pay for each item. And if you decide to sell the item, they either give you cash for it or they give you a credit for the store. So we've been doing this. My oldest is 11. So we've been doing this for 11 years, a little bit more than 11 years actually. And when we take the clothes in and we look at that receipt, we are getting like 50 cents or $1 for each item. And this stuff is like barely worn because they're growing so fast. The shoes look like they're practically brand new. And yes, we're getting money back for it, but it's a little disheartening when you paid X amount of dollars and you're only getting 50 cents back. I mean, So anyway, I came across a commercial for Poshmark. And me, being me, I'm a little skeptical when it comes to new things. So I kind of waited out, kept looking, at the commercials, researching a little bit. And so this last season came around, and I was like, I don't know if I really want to do this consignment thing again. And so I said, maybe I'll try Poshmark. So I researched a little bit more, and I realized that Poshmark did not have like a sign-up fee. So I'm like, okay, I'm really not losing anything except for maybe some time and effort. So let's try this. So I gathered up a few items and decided to try, not too many. I still had like a tote full of clothing, but I said, let me just try a handful of things and see how it goes. So I got, a few clothes together, some for my daughter, some for my son, and, took some pictures and went on to Poshmark and posted them. And I said, let's see how things go. So that was my very, very first time posting on Poshmark. So for those of you that don't know what Poshmark is, we're going to put a pin in my process, and we're going to go and talk about how you start with Poshmark. What is Poshmark? That sort of thing. So Poshmark is a platform where you can go and sell items. Now, I started out with clothing for like my children, but Poshmark does clothing, jewelry, and now they do household items. So you can sell things like pillows and just things around the house that you don't use, or maybe you purchase them, you can't take them back to the store, whatever it is, you can now sell it on Poshmark. So those are the things that you can kind of sell on Poshmark. I don't know if I said shoes. Shoes too. Shoes are a big thing. So those are some of the things that you can sell on Poshmark. So when you go on to Poshmark, you do have to sign up. but remember, it doesn't cost you anything. So you go into Poshmark, you sign up, and you go to sell. You either take the pictures or you can upload them from your camera or your computer, wherever you have the picture saved. And you have to do a description. Um, you have to tell whether it's a brand name, that kind of thing. So my suggestion is when you're doing like your title, because this is where I made, I think, an initial mistake. Um, I put on, let's say, a dress, and I put dress. And then in the description is where I really, describe the item, what color it was, all that stuff. And then I went down and I put whether it was a brand name, like if it was, Gap, or if it was Nautica, and the color, how many items, did I only have one? Is it brand new with tags, or not brand new? And so I just went down step by step. It's really easy. And then you go to the bottom and you put original price. So a lot of people put 0 there. Initially, that's what I did, was put 0 there. And then under it, what do you want to list it for? And you put how much you want to sell it for. And then under it, it tells you how much you're going to make. So my suggestion is to actually look up, if you don't know what the original price was for your item, look it up. Find something that is comparable. If you can't find the exact item, find something comparable and put that in there, because it really looks good when you have the original price is like $128 and you're selling it for $35 versus it has $0 and then you're selling it for $35. So it just makes it look better. And so once you have it in there, and it tells you how much you're going to make off of it. So I didn't get to this yet. Poshmark doesn't require a initial price. However, once you sell it, they take a percentage. So it's not huge, it's not major. I think if it's under $15, it's $2 and something it takes from what you make. And then if it's over $15, it takes a percentage. But I mean, it is so much better than getting $1 or 50 cents for your item at consignment. For me, it's better. So once you have everything filled out, you're going to click list. And once you click list, it pops up on your page and it's ready to sell. So it's really, really simple. You just go step by step by step. Make sure you take really good pictures, clear pictures where you can see the actual color and everything of the item. I would take multiple pictures so you can see like the different angles. And I say, think about it like when you're looking online for something. When you're looking online for something, you want to see every angle. You want to see the texture of the clothing. You want to see as many angles as you can, because you can't touch it. You can't see it in person. So, that's my little tidbit. Make sure you're taking really detailed pictures. And you have space to take a lot of pictures. So if you have different angles, make sure you take, a lot of different pictures so people can really see what you have to offer. So once you have it listed, then it's time for somebody to purchase. So I do suggest putting more than just a couple items on there, because I only put a few items on there and it seemed to take a while for people to see it. So my suggestion, start off with more than just like a handful. Okay. So followers will start to click, to become a follower. You don't have to really go out there and search for people. People automatically gravitate And Poshmark has it set up so that it will suggest new Poshmark users. And so people naturally will come and become your follower. So you don't really have to do any work when it comes to that. However, once you have things listed on your Poshmark account, you don't just stop. So it's not where you can go on, list things, and just kick back and wait for somebody to come, find your stuff. No, it is going to be a little work. So where the work comes in is sharing. So once you have your items listed, you have to share. What is sharing? Sharing is where you go to each item and there's a little box that looks like arrows going into a square. You're going to click that and it's going to ask you share to your followers, and you will click that, and that is sharing. Now you can also share to parties. So parties happen several times a day, and in order to share to a party, it has to coincide with what is going on at the party. So if your party is Converses and Levi, then if you have Reeboks, you cannot share to that party. It has to be related to that party. So let's say you have Levi's and you want to share. So you click the little share button, and another screen comes up that says, do you want to share to your followers or do you want to share to the party? So you can do both. You can share to the party and then go back and click your little button and share to your followers. So it's just to give you exposure. And the more you share, the more people have an opportunity to see your items. So if you do not share, people are not going to really see your item. So you have to share to get exposure. So sharing, you need to do it every day, really every day, several times a day. I like to share when parties are going on because I know people are going to be active during those times. So I might not be able to share to that party, but I can share to my followers during that party. And I tend to get more action with people either liking my product, purchasing my product, or just becoming a follower. So so that's how you get exposure and you get people to really see your item. Also, your description. Remember I said earlier about I just put dress up there at the beginning? Don't do that. So if you have like a Nautica dress, make sure you say, if it's blue, blue Nautica dress. And that way, when people are searching, even if they're Googling, they might be looking for that blue Nautica dress. Poshmark will come up. So you want to make sure that you do that as well, so that if people are searching, you have a chance of being seen. So those are the ways that you can be seen on Poshmark, so people can come and look at your item and possibly make a purchase. All right, so we know how to list it, we know how to share to get exposure. And let's say somebody purchased something. Yay, somebody bought something. Okay, once somebody purchases something, you get an email and you can go on and print your shipping label. So, I mean, they've made it even easy on that point. You print off your shipping label, you package your item, you make it look really nice and neat, professional, and they suggest you give a love note, a thank you note in your packaging. So you package it up, you put your label on it, and you send it off. And it's that simple. And once they have received the item and said that they have it, Poshmark deposits that money into your account. Easy peasy. You don't have to see anyone. You don't have to talk to anyone. That is it. So easy. Does take work, but it's easy. So that's how Poshmark works. All right, so back to my beginnings with Poshmark. So I listed my items and I shared once a day, Sometimes I didn't share at all, but it was pretty much once a day. And I wasn't getting anything except for followers. And so I'm getting a little frustrated, but I'm going to stick with it. So I start sharing a little bit more, maybe twice a day, during my downtime, if I'm waiting for fast food or, something like that. So while I'm waiting, I would share my items on Poshmark. So, still, I'm getting followers. I'm getting some likes. Nobody was buying anything. So, really getting frustrated. It's been a few weeks and still nobody has purchased anything. So, what I decided to do is continue to do research. What is it that is going to help me get somebody to buy something? So, I started looking on YouTube, which maybe that's why you're here. So I started looking on Poshmark for other resellers to see if they had any advice for me. And so I came across a couple of really good YouTubers and Poshmark resellers. And I took in some of their advice, like I shared with you earlier, more descriptive titles, that sort of thing. And so I boosted up a little bit. I fixed my photos and kind of tried to make them really crisp and that sort of thing, like I suggested to you earlier. And I got more likes. More people were coming. So as of now, I have sold a few items. Yay. But I'm still looking to become better. So if you have any questions for me, I would be more than willing to do the research and get the answers back to you if I can. If I've experienced it, I will share that with you. And if you are a experienced Poshmark reseller, Poshmark ambassador with some great advice, please let me know. I would love to hear from you. So, I think that is pretty much it for today. Like I said, leave those comments for me. I would love to get some great advice. And if this has been helpful, give me a thumbs up. And remember to subscribe so that you can keep getting this content, because as I learn, I want to share with you. And I hope that you are interested in going on this journey with me. So, thanks again, and I will see you next time.